Hey buddy, it's Invicta. It's time for another Eat and Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance series. Happy Wednesday, Mosh Pit. I hope your midweeks are going off to a great start. You may notice that we don't have a Wacky Wednesday this week, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, I want to say thank you all very much for the support over this past week so far. We're still waiting for the next video to cross 3,000 likes. We have a couple that are very close. Definitely go check those out if you want to support my channel. The easiest way to do so is just by simply clicking the like button, leaving a comment, and go checking out those questions of the episode. Here's your artwork of the day. First time submitter by Amber Next. Title thread was Sinvicta Edens with Mom's Knife. My first fan art, so that's why it's a bit wonky, lol. Hey, I like it. I think the lines are clean. I think that the Sinvicta mask, the vector went on there quite nicely, and looks really awesome. So thank you very much, Amber Next. Keep it going. I'd love to see some more stuff. If that's your first fan art, like that's like a good start, I have to say. So go check out the full resolution on the Sinvicta subreddit /r/Sinvicta. Thank you, everyone who upvoted that one. Oh, baby. CJ's going to be Hotel Papa Victor 4 Lil 2. Well, we've got not great tiers, very bad damage, good movement speed, good shot speed, and of course we have flying thanks to the Holy Grail. Ooh, and that's actually, wait, what? That is not Butterbean. So, you know, it's not bad. The second day in a row, they're actually starting with some kind of flying, and honestly, I'm down for it. Like, I'm here for it. There you go. So wait, what is going to do the Butterbean knockback, or as I call it, the parry effect, and also do the fissure attack, which is, it does a decent amount of damage, but for the most part, it's not really something that you're going to rely upon too heavily in terms of primary DPS, but it is very good at taking down some early, kind of annoying enemies, and, you got to worry about the flies and spiders and that sort of thing, and it's good at doing that. But again, as a, what the heck else? That Ipecac shot was like 1 iota away from hitting the ground, and we somehow projected it back up into the air, thanks to Butterbean. Anyway, you can also use the Wait What Fissure for opening up secret rooms and super secret rooms. It's a little bit wonky to do so because you have to get it basically with the outer edge of the outer ring or the outer edge of the inner ring, and it's a little bit difficult to do. But if you can manage to do it and finagle it, then you know what? You'll be rewarded by saving a whole bunch of bombs early on. I see our DPS is not that great. Wait, what's still doing the majority of the heavy lifting here. We have a 2 of spades here. I would like to actually get more than just 2 keys if possible, but if that's all that we got, then you know what? That's all we got. Because the devil card is going to be very useful for the boss. But yeah, talking about no Wacky Wednesday here, I think that Wacky Wednesday might take a little bit of a breather for like a week or two, just to kind of recharge the batteries. Some people, I've been monitoring and reading the comments, and this definitely goes into last week's questions as well, questions of the episode, I think it was the least commented thread that we ever had on the new sort of comment initiative that we had a couple weeks ago that we started with. So I think that the general feedback is there are a lot of people who like Wacky Wednesday, but equally there are some people who just want to see Eden runs. And I think that, to refresh the tank and kind of recharge the tanks, and get the brain working again. Ooh, we'll take 8-inch nails for the nice DPS upgrade. It essentially doubled our damage there. But I do think that it's a good idea, just to hit the reset button on everything. I do want to use Wait What here against this keeper. Yep. So for the next week or two, we won't be doing any Wacky Wednesdays, and that'll lead to today's question of the day, which I'll talk about on the next floor. I really kind of want to take the mystery. Early on, mystery gift could be pretty pogged. I'm gonna use the 2 of spades now. Let's go back and get that devil card so we can get the first floor boss out of here. I may be using the mystery gift inside of the secret room, though. Not hit the donation machine. Supposed to hit the donation machine. I did not want to buy that, Isaac! They have Red Dingle here. Red Dingle will charge an extra time than other Dingles, but about it. He also does a split shot too, which is kind of easy to dodge. upset that I don't get the mystery gift. But it is what it is. These our damage is okay now, especially with the devil card. You have to be a little bit cautious whenever you use a knockback on a charging enemy, but you know, we've got the damage to outdo that. And I will look for some extra money here, and we're not going to find it. So unless I missed a fool's gold somewhere, I don't think that we are going to get. We're not going to get the 5 cents. Now we could, if we really wanted to, we could play the sack room, but I think that's kind of a big waste there. 2 of diamonds, never mind, it gets us there. All right, never mind. All is forgiven. All is forgiven. I was gonna say, like, I hope that we get a 2 of diamonds, but that felt like way wishful thinking. But hey, being rewarded today. All right, let's try this again. Mystery gift is going to potentially give us a item from the item pool that we're about to use it in, or it could give us poop, or it could give us lump of coal if we're really unlucky. And we get astral projection. I mean, yep, it's definitely a secret room item. I can tell you that. And the only problem with taking a secret room item is that we have to be wary of rerolls, and I'll talk about that in a moment. First, let's get off of this really long first floor. And curse the blind. So the reason why we have to be very careful when it comes to secret room items for rerolls is because you can reroll into TM Trainer, which, I mean, let's not even pretend that we want to see TM Trainer again anytime soon. And then also Damocles, of course, or not Damocles, sorry, Missing No. And that is one of the downsides, I would say, of trying to go for the secret room pool. It, like, while it does have some of the most powerful items in the game, it also has some of the most dangerous items in the game, and I don't think it's a coincidence like that. Made our life a lot harder in here. There we go. But going on to last week's question of the episode, and this again kind of what led me to put a pause on Wacky Wednesday just for a little bit. We only had 21 replies to that thread, which is outside of the first couple of days that we've started doing this whole question of the day thing, is the lowest by far. So, but I will read the replies. Of course, last week we did have the double challenge because the Lemedriton, or the Let Me Get Down challenge, was not working as planned. Although someone did point out in one of the top rated comments, in fact, it was the top rated comment sent by Hot Hands 8967. Yeah, it's Curse the Blind. Monzuma's Bench will definitely take. They said, for the Let Me Get Down challenge, you could do it where the sacrificial altar activates upon cleaning a room, destroying your wisps. I'm pretty sure that doesn't give anything in terms of like your wisps and stuff, so I think that would be okay. But largely, in part, I do think that there's no real challenge to that whole thing. It's a neat idea for sure, but I think that where that challenge kind of collapses is just the challenge in and of itself. It's like, if we're given a whole bunch of items, like 20 different items, especially from Lemedriton, and they just reset and then start again on the next room, it doesn't really pose like that much of a danger. And I think that that's part of what the whole feedback was for that too. And also people are kind of getting challenge fatigued a little bit. And that's fine. That happens every now and then. Another highly upvoted comment was from Wyatt Sipes again, who said, gain an item every 10 seconds, but lose an item every 20 seconds instead of Let Me Get Down. And I think that that's fine. I still think that it's kind of running into the, it's kind of like, I don't think that that's super duper interesting for like a challenge or anything. It might be funny to see on the first like couple of times, but after a while, it's just kind of be like, okay. So we basically it's just like the delete this challenge, except like with more steps sort of deal. So I do appreciate the recommendation though. Okay, we got to take both. The Bloody Lust and then also Brimstone, which I will take on Curse the Blind. And finally, another upvoted comment was from Dennis1153, who said, how about gain 10 or 20 items upon entering a new room and remove them as soon as the room is cleared, like a new run every room? And that's what we already kind of did. in the Lemedgeton challenge, and it doesn't really pose any challenge is the thing. Like, even if every single mob was like a champion, I don't think that would be very difficult. So overall, you know, the challenge runs, especially like the Let Me Get Down challenge and stuff, it's a neat idea, and it's definitely cool to see. Like, it's cool to see the process of programming that into the rules and everything. But I think from a watchability standpoint, it's not the most interesting thing to do. Like I said, it's more of a novelty challenge. It's not even a challenge really, but we call it a challenge because it's a custom challenge. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, hey, I've said many years now that, you know, everything that we do on this channel is under a constant source of evaluation. You know, I sort of just kind of go with the flow, and the ebb and flow, I will say, of the mosh pit is what really highly dictates what you guys and gals get to see here on a daily basis for Isaac. And other stuff too, obviously. So I'm not gonna bother going into the member shop, because whatever spawns in there, we're not gonna be able to get again. So gotta really be careful in this room. Actually, this is one of the more like annoyingly dangerous rooms because of the trying to shoot the barrels, but also the enemies that walk around the barrels. Oh my gosh, knockback from 8.5-inch nails with the brimstone is just too good. Obviously, with brimstone, we're going to be taken care of in terms of range and all that kind of good stuff, but we're not taken care of in terms of damage yet. And Montezuma's Revenge, of course, is going to be it's supplementary damage, you know. Can't believe we didn't see the item room over here. Go back and find the item room, which is undoubtedly going to be in the only other spot that we haven't gone yet. To be correct. Yeah, you know, it's a constant state of feedback and flux that the channel is in, and you know, and I think that in listening to your audience to a certain extent is important. Not everyone, of course, was saying like, "Oh, I'm getting so sick of these challenge runs," that sort of stuff. But there was a little bit more of an uptick in people who were like, "Yeah, I'd like to see something different," you know, something like just a regular Eden or on a Wednesday. You know, people have been saying that about Sundays for a while, and that's the reason why Random Run Day sort of came back in a nice way, just because Sunday videos have been doing very well, and you know, just switching it up every now and then. But for the vast majority of people, they want to see Eden. Whoa, that was a floaty shot and a half there. Trying to time it to where we can get Montezuma's Revenge and Brimstone firing on the same target. We did. Gonna get perfection here. I mean, Little Horn would be good, but none of these are really worth going into lethal range for, in my opinion. I think we're just gonna be safe than sorry. We don't need flying, obviously. We don't need spectral tears. We don't need piercing shots or anything like that. Brimstone with Little Horn is quite good, but I don't think it's not good enough for me to be like, oh, let's go down to like a half heart away from death. Of course, Brimstone being my favorite item in the entire game. I'm always happy to have Brimstone. Brimstone definitely suffers the same criticism of like Mom's Knife, or you know, even Maw of the Void or Epic Fetus. You know, it does get very samey. Although in the defense of Brimstone, I will say that, you know, there are many good synergies with Brimstone. It's also one of the most, if not the most recognizable item in the entire game. Which it's worth a merit, you know. I think that Brimstone, I'm always happy to see it. I definitely see where the criticism stems from in terms of being super samey and stuff. And, you know, I have been known to be like, yeah, I don't really feel like taking like Dr. Fetus or Epic Fetus or anything. I mean, Dr. Fetus is different than Epic Fetus, but Epic Fetus for sure is just not an enjoyable item. And that's okay. There are going to be items that you're just not going to like. There's going to be items that conflict with your playstyle, or just simply items you just don't like. I mean, there are items that I just don't like to take in general, just because I just don't like them. And you're not wrong. There's no every opinion when it comes to Isaac is valid, and anyone who tries to invalidate your opinion about an item, something like that, they're just an overbearing jerk, and we don't care about them. Oh my God, get absolutely, positively yeeted. Mega Bomb had no chance, man. Tried my hardest to run into those shots, but didn't work out. We've already destroyed a judgment here, but I know that that's on the way to the boss. So let's go back up, go find our way around on the map. Gotta love this combo of Montezuma's Revenge and Brimstone. One covers you from the front, one covers you from the back. So you can maneuver around, and this is one of those times where I would say that, you know, it's an item. By it, I mean Montezuma's Revenge. Yo, can we stop? Why are we getting so many pills though? I feel like we've gotten nothing but pills for the last like 8 checks. But Montezuma's Revenge, it's one of those items that I would say is absolutely worth getting good at, or at least getting better with, and practicing. You know, being able to utilize a Brimstone-esque type shot that does a lot of damage and actually does have quite a few pretty interesting synergies is worth your effort in doing. I say that, and then, you know, I pass up on Isaac's Heart and stuff, which, yeah, we don't play with Isaac's Heart, and that's one of those things where, like, yes, it would be nice to be good with Isaac's Heart, but you know what's even better than that? Not taking Isaac's Heart. I know, it's quite the concept. Okay, you know what? I don't know how you lived through all that. As you saw there, we got a Curse of the XL, and both of our item rooms are not worth going into. One was the D5 or something, and the other one was D4. So, yeah. And you know, we talked about the rerolls, or the being cautious about rerolling with secret room items, and yeah, you don't want to do it. Just don't do it. It is not a wise endeavor. So we can at least save ourselves time and 2 keys by skipping out these item rooms here. Okay. 1 mega troll bomb in the corner, fine, whatever. But both of the sacks having 2 troll bombs in there, mega or not. Come on now, game. I thought that I would have a little bit more space up at the top there, because it definitely looked like there was some space from where that abyss was and where we were standing, but it was very clearly incorrect. And 5.4 damage is not going to cut it. In fact, it hasn't been cutting it for a while now. Most of our damage is actually built in from Montezuma's Revenge whenever it does charge up. The thing is that our Brimstone charges so fast that we're firing with Brimstone, and we're not allowing enough charge time for Montezuma's Revenge because we don't need to. Brimstone's taking care of some of the heavy lifting, but you know, the higher damage needs in some rooms there are obviously reserved for Montezuma's Revenge. So we've gone in the wrong direction, as we tend to do every now and then on this channel. All right, let's go over here now. All right, good. Let's go check out the south side now, everybody. All right, here we are. Now let's go to the actual side that we need to go to. Shall we? How does he do it? Been nice to have found the Tinted Skull boss rush, but we have not yet, of course. There's the entire top half of the map, in case if you are playing along. You have to be cautious about using anything that breaks skulls in these levels, because obviously you don't want to be spawning more hosts. Not only can it make it more dangerous, it's just more things you have to kill, and it's also way less time effective and efficient. Found the boss. Don't know where the shop is. Don't know where the Tinted Skull is. And on a level where we're going to have to skip both of the item rooms, I don't think that we can afford to lose boss rush here, or the shop, really. Usually there's a tinted rock in this room. Looking real quickly, and I don't see one. Brimstone, please. Thank you. Luck upgrade there. And we are still looking for that shop. And that Tinted Skull. Found the shop. We're still looking for the Tinted Skull. All right. Going to buy this. I'm going to take the movement speed upgrade because Lord knows we need one. And the Tinted Skull is in the last possible room we could have found it in. There it is. Wow. How does he do it? How does he do it? We don't have time for this. Our damage being as it is, this is going to be rough. Surprisingly, Infamy is an actual pushover when it comes to dealing with Montezuma's Revenge. And honestly, the mom fight's not too bad either. Of course, you mistime it because you have a stopwatch. Just blast her right in the eye with it. I was just waiting for some kind of attackable mom part. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna take the Polaroid on this one here, as we do get Death's Touch. And Death's Touch is a tears down, but a big damage up. We do need as much damage as possible here. And we get Twanky Twanky. We get double Brimstone, which is, you know, it's good. Essentially what we did was we canceled out the damage up that we got from Death's Touch, which is fine, because now we're getting basically 2 Brimstones that are hitting for double the amount of a single Brimstone, which is totally fine by me. But was that a good boss rush? It was kind of good, kind of eh. So no Curse the XL this time. Okay. My favorite room's right there. Oh, always love those rooms that just kind of take care of themselves. Yeah, so that's the damage that we're seeing here. Go check out this challenge room. We're still getting the crazy knockback from having 8-inch nails at the very start. Now, what would be really cool is if Montezuma's Revenge also came out in 2020. We're not talking about the year either, or the movie. Actually, there was no movie 2020. That hasn't happened yet. We're still kind of living through those years. That one somehow is also going to star Woody Harrelson and what's his name? You know, what's his name? Guy from the first one. 2012. What a delightfully cheesy bad movie that is. Like so bad. There's so many things that go wrong in that movie that's like it doesn't make any sense. Not at all. I didn't even know that the secret room was there. And then we can push away these white skulls. One of the few interactions that you can get with a with Brimstone is that actually affects the white skulls in a good way. I mean, keeping them on their side of the level and stuff. And you know, that's one of those effects that like you don't need to know, but it's always good to see. Get ourselves another soul heart here. I did start laying down vocals for our cover song. And it was good. They're heavy vocals. When you hear them, you're gonna understand why. Like, oh, that's why Sinvicta's voice was a little bit iffy. Yeah, they're heavy vocals, but I think, and I hope that people are going to like the track. I think they are. But as far as Wacky Wednesday goes, and that can be today's question of the episode, you know, what is your desire to see on Wacky Wednesday? Do you like the rules challenges? Do you like seeing the actual canonical challenges from the Binding of Isaac Repentance? Do you like seeing, like, you know, going through more of the difficult ones? Or do you like seeing like the, you know, like all items are like, you know, little Gertie or whatever? Let me know in the comments down below. That is today's question of the episode. Because again, you guys and gals get to drive the channel basically. It's very important to gauge the mosh pit feedback, and you know, when people say, yeah, we're getting a little tired of challenges, we'd like to see just some regular Eden runs. I think that it's important to listen. I think ignoring everyone is not a good idea. Of course, you can't listen to everybody, and that's another thing too in this business, is that you're never gonna make everyone happy. But I think that listening to the majority of your audience is not necessarily a bad thing. Also, broken magnet. You can. I mean, I've said that for many years now, and I think that people appreciate that. I hope people appreciate that. Oh, really? I have seen so many mega troll bombs today. It's making my head spin. I've been trying to figure out how to work my sprinkler system still. I've got a, it's weird because like, I don't know how the sprinkler system like sectors were set up. Blister, golden blister plus 8-inch nails. This would be rich. But yeah, like my lawn is getting kind of fried outside. It's a little bit hot. I don't like running my sprinklers because like it's a lot of water, and you know, I'll only run the sprinklers whenever I have to. But they haven't been running for a while, and my lawn is kind of paying the price for it. So I tried to figure out like why are my sprinklers not running? Like they're programmed and stuff, and like I'm sitting there trying to figure it out, and come to find out that the water was turned off. Back when we had a freeze last winter, I apparently never turned the sprinklers back on, even though I swore I did. So I went to go actually turn on the water, and it turns out that the valves are completely like rusted, not rusted over, but like they're to the point where like they can't be turned without like using a wrench or something. And I'm a little worried to do that because I don't want to like crack the pipes or anything. Like I could definitely force them open, but I'm always, when it comes to like plumbing and especially like electrical stuff, I'm really, really paranoid about doing that kind of stuff. Go take a look at this vault real quick here. Anyway, so the Sinvicta lawn is currently getting Sinvicta fried, and it doesn't look too good. I've got one of those Yeah, one of them HOAs that are very, very uptight. Got decent keys here, but at this point, do we really want to give up 3 soul hearts for that? I'm gonna say no. I will use, yeah, okay. We'll use the lover's card just to get an extra devil deal item, and boy howdy. Oh, we're just getting all the knockback stuff. All we're missing now is Pisces. Okay, game. Like, seriously. Like, it was funny the second time, but like, let's stop teleporting. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'll honestly say I've never been to an HOA meeting, and I never ever will. Do other countries have HOAs? I have attended one HOA meeting when I was living with Papa Victor, and it was literally nothing but people yelling at each other, and I was like, this is the dumbest thing. Why even come here? Like, they're just yelling at each other. Like, it's like grown adults yelling like children. And like, this is stupid. So I've never been to my HOA before, my HOA meetings or anything like that, because I frankly just don't care. And I was wondering if other countries have HOAs. Like, is that strictly an American thing, or is it like if you own a house in most countries, you're going to have some kind of HOA? Not sure why astral projection didn't go off there, unless it went off and I just talking. Okay. Little fadeaway shot by that corn. You need to be careful with the amount of knockback if you get this much knockback, because it actually does kind of pose a problem. It turns almost any enemy into a projectile, which can be kind of detrimental. Maybe the bonus follow-up question. There are other countries out there that have HOAs. Do other countries other than America have HOAs? My guess is probably some form of it. It might not be called a homeowners association. That's how you know that we've entered into the twilight time zones in the commentary when we're talking about HOAs and sprinkler systems. I mean, there's not really much else to talk about on this run here, because obviously, you know, Brimstone was a blind pickup and pretty much set the tone for the rest of the entire run. Although it is kind of funny seeing all these knockbacks. If I was drawing, that would have given us 2 or 3 for Guppy had we taken Guppy's tail, but obviously I didn't feel the need to, so. You have the key. Somebody asked, why do I do that? Sometimes I'm like, you can have this, or you can keep that key, or something like that. It's just me being incredulous and lazy. Trying to show the game that I don't care. Get to a certain point, you have to just, you gotta put the game in its place. There's the entire map, everybody, again. Be playing along at home, doing you the favor of not having to see where you need to go. I still don't understand how or why astral projection does what it does. I think like if you do something, it clears the damage or something. Blood Puppy, all right, come on down. What a cute little thing he is. Come on, Blood Puppy. Reverse Judgment. Ooh, that's a restock machine. God, Blood Puppy taking out that deacon, the bishop, whatever they're called. Blood Puppy's already level 2, and he's back down to level 1. secret room is super secret bad. I'm really surprised that we haven't really had another spacebar item to actively use over Wait What. And it's not like Wait What's bad. I mean, it's everything that Butterbean does, and then also does the fissure attack. Nice, we had 9 volt, of course. We go. There goes Isaac. We get our soul heart, and we also have this judgment card, which we're going to use in the chest. So let's see if we can use it to re-roll some good stuff here. Yep, all those are pretty awful for where we are at this point. I mean, I guess we'll take Ludovico. I guess we'll take Tech Zero. I don't think it does anything with Ludovico. Sure. Mirai. Again, I don't think it did anything, but Mechanic Bible. Dirty Touch. Run away from the oh crap transformation here. Now, interesting enough, because we took Inner Eye, it doesn't do anything to negatively impact our tier's speed or our tier, like our tier damage or anything like that. Because, by speed, by the way, I mean like how fast we can move Ludovico. But it's because of 2020. And ironically, that was not planned, but you know, hey, it worked out for the best. It's gone the wrong way. Now, usually, whenever we see the boss room on the west side of a map, we have to assume that we have to go east because you know this is how Isaac goes for mapping. Yeah, if you're curious as to why we didn't get a shot speed down penalty, unless Ludovico also removes it, which I'm pretty sure it doesn't. It was removed thanks to us having 2020. Yep. Wow, that's a really short spot to the Blue Baby here. We're gonna get a double full charge. So, yeah, you know, Brimstone absolutely crushed it here on the Not So Wacky Wednesday. But again, make sure you check out that question of the episode thread, everybody. I really would appreciate the feedback on it. What would you like to see for the future of Wacky Wednesdays? Do you even care about seeing challenge runs? Do you just want to stick to Eden? Would you like to see like different shades of Wacky Wednesday doing like the canonical challenges? Or is it really just not that much of a deal to you? All that stuff is valid feedback, and I really do appreciate everyone who does try to help out the channel and does stuff like that. Again, having such an interactive audience here on YouTube is very rare, especially for a channel of our size. And I think that, you know, not utilizing something like that is foolish, and I wouldn't do that. So thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you had a great start to your Wednesday here in the Mosh Pit. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button, leave a comment down below on either the comment thread or just, of course, continuing your comment streaks down there. And like I said, have a great start to your midweek, everyone. As always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like to thank some patrons of mine like Sampudu, Dina, and Flashback 007. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find over at patreon.com/Sinvicta.